everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Tomcat Stitchery. I'm Whitney and I've got a little bonus video for you guys today. I'm also showing a little bit of cleavage. Sorry about that. I think the camera's like looking down. It doesn't look so booby when I'm just looking straight on in the map or in the mirror. Anyway, bonus video today. If you've been watching the daily vlogs, you know I've been putting up a video every day, but Sean from Kittenish Behavior and Danny, oh no, I shut that. And Danny from Pocket or Two have issued a challenge, and it can be something that you participate on Instagram. You can go to Sean's Facebook group, her Peeps Facebook group for Kittenish Behavior, or you can also put up a YouTube video if you happen to have a YouTube channel, which of course I do. So the hashtag is #ShowUsYourStash2020. Is that correct? I want to make sure I get all of the... Yes, #ShowUsYourStash2020, which is just a fun way of getting into each other's sewing rooms during this really weird time where we're all stuck at home anyway. I mean, it would take forever to go through all of the fabric in my stash. So this is just 8 questions that just kind of, number one, help you go through things and determine, you know, what do I have, you know, in my stash? What are some of my, you know, precious things that are in here? And then share them with the community. So I'm going to go through all 8 questions. I will write the question down here at the bottom so that you, sorry about my bangs. I also really need my bangs cut, but that's not going to happen for quite a while. So, but I'll leave the question down here so you can actually see what the question is as I am answering it. So again, if this is something that you'd like to participate in, you can definitely use the hashtag on Instagram and go through all these questions as prompts for that, or you can go to Sean's Facebook page. And I will have actually links to both, to this video on her channel and also Danny's as well. So you can go have a look at that for more ways that you can participate. Okay, so number 1, your favorite fabric. This is a hard one. I mean, I have a ton of fabrics that are my favorite fabrics. Right now I'm really crushing on linen. I'm actually wearing some linen right now. I usually, if I buy a fabric that I am just, and it's usually a print, something that's just so neat or breathtaking, I usually cut into it pretty quickly, for the most part. I mean, you're gonna see that's not the case with a few of these, but so my favorite fabric right now is one I actually just made up, but it is the B6543 dress that I made. You guys have seen it, but it's this gorgeous cotton voile from Style Maker Fabrics. It has, I mean, they're all of my colors. It's got these beautiful bits of orange on it. It's in kind of this, gold color background, kind of a turmeric color, and then it's got these beautiful grass green leaves on it too. I love the sketchy nature of the flowers and that only parts of them are colored in. I just really, really find this fabric beautiful. In fact, find it so beautiful that I also finished the bias binding of this dress, which is the same pattern as this one, in that fabric as well. So I've used every square inch of this fabric. Love it. So that is definitely, right now, my favorite fabric. As you all know, that can change, you know. Then it's my favorite fabric until I see my next favorite fabric, right? Isn't that how it works? Fabric is a bit of an addiction, but I think it's one that we all share. Oh, I'm so sorry about these. I don't know what to do with them. Like, I'm not going to cut them myself, but they are so in my face. Okay, so sorry if I'm bothering with them, if that's bothering you. All right, number 2. I also have the questions down here on my computer, so if I keep looking down, that's why I'm looking at my computer. Okay, oldest fabric. Now, I probably have a lot of fabric in my stash that is much older than this one. However, it's all fabric that I've inherited from either my mentor Joyce, or I've had a few other people that have that are no longer sewing that have gifted me, you know, small, you know, a few cuts of fabric that were in their little stashes as well. So I'm sure I do have stuff older in my, I know that I do. I know that I do, especially stuff from Joyce's stash, I would think, things that have been in there forever. But the oldest that I have that I personally purchased, let's see, when I first started sewing, so I was pregnant actually when I first started sewing, and I did a lot of home deck sewing. That's kind of in craft sewing, that kind of thing is kind of how I got hooked. And then I've got family that lives down in Springfield, Missouri, and there's a shop down there, I've talked about it before, called FM Fabrics. I've gotten all of my home decor fabric for my entire house actually down there. But while I was down there, one of the times, because I was, again, was getting into home dec sewing and also a lot of like craft type sewing, they had some apparel fabric. Now they've since moved to a much larger location, and I would love to go back down there. Just the past few times we've been there strictly to see family, and I haven't gotten a chance to go over there, but I'd love to take another trip down there. But I had bought a collection of linens. So this is one of them. It's in this really like a mint, not a mint, it's more of like a pale celery green maybe, I don't know. It's a real pale green. But I bought it in this colorway, a pale yellow, a chocolate brown, and an orange, kind of a tangerine orangey color. I have actually just made up the orange into a cielo from from Closet Case Patterns, and it's a medium weight linen, I would say. But I really didn't know what I was grabbing. I just knew that I liked wearing linen, and I was starting at this point to get from craft sewing into making stuff for my kids, so like kids clothing. That's kind of the next step before I got into adult stuff, and that's actually when we moved to Indiana, and then I met my mentor Joyce, and I apprenticed, and then you guys have heard that story. But yeah, I think these are the oldest garment fabrics that are still in my stash, and I don't know why they're still, I mean, technically this isn't one of my colors, but my daughter can wear this color and my daughter can wear the pale yellow. I just made up the orange for myself, and the chocolate brown is definitely one I can wear. I have cut bits and pieces out of some of these because I made some little linen zippered pouches a while ago and used some of this fabric. But yeah, I'd say this is probably the oldest garment fabric that I have that I've purchased. Again, I do have old stuff from that I've inherited from other people, but as far as things I've purchased, this is probably the oldest. All right. My computer went to sleep on me. That's what happens when you talk too much. Okay, scared to cut into. This kind of, well, it goes with this other one, but we'll get to it there in a minute. So I have this gorgeous crepe de chine. This was a remnant that I got at Britex Fabrics last May, June, I think it was June, beginning of June. When I was there, we were in San Francisco with my husband and my parents actually. But I bought this gorgeous remnant, and let's see, it still has the tag on it. There's 1.5 yards and it's 56 inches wide. But I mean, this was like really pricey stuff. Technically, these aren't really my colors per se, but like they're a little too clear of colors. But I just fell in love with the colors on this. This is before I had my colors done, technically. And we don't have to dress completely in our colors. That's the beauty of sewing. We can kind of do what we want. It does have some of that grass green in there, which is one of my colors. But anyway, I'm scared to death to cut into it because it was very expensive. But it was a remnant. I think I spent $115. Because I think it was reduced from the price that's on here. So maybe just 100. I think it was like 100 that I spent on, I'm almost positive. Or maybe it was less than that because I also got a couple more remnants. Anyway, this was a remnant, but it was pricey. So I am scared to cut into it. I don't know what to make with it, which is another one of the questions. So really anything that I'm also scared to cut into, I just don't want to make a mistake. So I don't know if it should be like, a rhapsody. Am I just gonna have all the rhapsodies? It'd be a beautiful tunic top. Or if it should be a dress. I have 1.5 yards, and again, it's 56 inches wide. So it's like 1.5 yards either way. And I've washed it. Have I washed it? Yes. Well, hold on, now I'm thinking that no, I've not washed this yet. Because I've not serged my edges. So this must have been the end of the bolt. Sorry. No, I've not washed this yet. But anyway, I'm scared to cut into it because it's silk and it's although it's a crepe, so it's not as slippery as say a charmeuse. But I just want to be careful and make sure I'm making something I really love with it because it was pricey. So that is the one. I don't know if it's the one I'm most scared to cut into, but it's definitely one I am scared to cut into. I'll fold that back up. So there's, because a lot of these kind of fall into the same categories. So next up is 4, don't have a clue what to make with it. All right, this one was an easy one. I bought this knit fabric from Emma One Sock, and actually I bought it because I was thinking of entering a challenge with Threads Magazine through ASDP, which is the Association of Sewing and Design Professionals. They do a challenge every year, and it was a knit challenge, and I thought this was so interesting that I bought it. I ended up not entering the challenge, I just ran out of time, but it's got like a weird knit backing here, but it's got these like tufts. Can you tell like the texture on there? These tufts of wool. I have 2 yards of this, and I bought it because it was interesting. I'm like, I'll figure out something really cool to do with it, and it's just been sitting in my stash. So it doesn't have a lot of stretch, like hardly at all. It has like 0 recovery too. You know, when you cut things, and it's bulky because you've got these like they almost look like marshmallows, like these tufts that are on there. So I have no idea what to do with this. It's taking up a lot of room in my stash though right now, and again it's wool with like a knit backing on it. So if anyone has any ideas, I would be very open as to what I could do with this very interesting and weird fabric. I mean, it's got pink in there, but it's also got orange and it's also got gold. So I think I can definitely pull it off as far as colors. But let me know what you think. Okay. Oh my gosh, I talk so long and my computer keeps going to sleep. All right, fabric with a story. Okay, so I have this silk. I bought this actually the same trip as the other silk. So this is kind of the story. So my mom bought me this silk. So we, and it's a panel. Let me get it right way around here. There's the cut edge. So it is a panel, and these beautiful blues. It gets darker when you get towards the bottom, and it is a crepe de chine. So we went to San Francisco with my husband and I with my parents. My husband and my dad went to the US Open golf tournament at Pebble Beach, which is a bit of a drive from San Francisco, but my mom and I just stayed in San Francisco. So they rented a car and went down for the day for the tournament and then came back. So my mom and I had a whole day in San Francisco, just the 2 of us. It was my first time to be in San Francisco. It was cold, but we went down to Fisherman's Wharf. We had a wonderful like experience around there. We didn't want to do too much touristy stuff because we wanted to wait for the guys for a lot of that. Like we went and did like the boat tour around Alcatraz and all that with the guys. But we just kind of tooled around San Francisco, and we ended up at this wonderful Greek restaurant for lunch and had like a wonderful lunch, beautiful glass of wine. We got some really good dark chocolate and just walked through San Francisco, and we ended up at Britex Fabrics, and the people there were just lovely, and pricey. This was pricey, and my mom bought this for me. This is one panel of this crepe de chine, which is about 1.5 yards long, and this is a wide one too. It's like 54 inches wide as well. So I also don't know what to do with this. I want it to be something special because it was pricey, but yeah, my mom bought this for me on that wonderful, it's just a wonderful reminder and a wonderful trip. We just had such a lovely day, just the 2 of us that day. So I want to make something, yeah, it's got these medallions on it, something beautiful out of this. But yeah, that's my fabric with a story. It was just a great reminder of a really fun trip. We were only there for a long weekend, but it was a lovely, lovely time. Actually, she just sent me a picture of me standing at Fisherman's Wharf that she had taken from that trip, and yeah, anyway, wonderful. Okay, most precious fabric and why. This is it, hands down. So this is a wool double gauze. I mean, it's definitely like a double or even a triple gauze. Maybe even a triple gauze. So it's spongy. So it's got different layers. The print on this is absolutely stunning. I bought this at an ASDP, which again is the Association of Sewing and Design Professionals conference from Mendel Goldberg, which is a New York store, a very pricey one, because they would come to our, I'm sure they still do, I just haven't been in a couple of years, to our conferences, and they would have pre-cut pieces of fabric, and this was one of them, and she had it draped on one of the mannequins. It is a Dolce & Gabbana print, or it was made for Dolce & Gabbana, so this is a, they get a lot of offcuts or, you know, things left over like in factories. So this was Dolce & Gabbana, right? Is it Dolce & Gabbana? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Dolce & Gabbana. For a minute I was like, is it Gucci? No, it's Dolce & Gabbana. So anyway, we have so much going on here. So there's like this plaid section here, there's flowers, You've got some solid pieces. There's a different like plaid going on here. Then there's animal print. It is just beautiful. Again, it's a wool. I think it's like a triple gauze. So it's pretty weighty and spongy. So it has a little bit of like mechanical stretch, a little bit. It's 100% wool. It's made in Italy. It is just beautiful. It is all of my colors. And I bought this even before I knew what my colors were, but it's everything in my entire color palette. It was very, very expensive. Very expensive. Like, I don't think I've ever spent this much money on fabric ever, and probably never will again. But it was just, I just couldn't turn it away from it. It was just grabbed me. So, I also don't know what to do with this one. I wanted to count. I have 3 yards of it, which was the cut that she brought, and I just, had to buy the whole thing. So I grabbed it, and I just, yeah, what do you guys think? There's so much going on the whole like piece. It's just so pretty. It's so pretty. It's living in my cedar. Oops, did I just get lipstick on it? Nope. It's living in my cedar chest right now because I don't want any bugs to get to it. But yeah, let me know. What do you think about this one too? What would this be a good like garment? Like dress, a coat, a jacket? I just don't know. Again, I have 3 yards of it, so I have a fair amount. And it's a wool, so if I did anything, it definitely would have to be lined. Yeah, I mean, you would line it anyway, but it would definitely need to be lined. It's actually not too scratchy, but it's just gorgeous. And you've got here on the selvage, on one of the selvages, the mill in Italy, where it came from. Here it is. Yeah, this Alta Moda. It's just gorgeous. So, anyway, what do you guys think? What should we do with it? What should I do with that one? It even goes nice with my dress. So, yeah, so that would be something. I want it to be a garment that I just keep in my wardrobe forever and ever and ever. Because it's just, yeah, that's my most precious, definitely. Okay, dream fabric. So obviously I don't have my dream fabric. Wish I did. But I thought about this for a while, and I think my dream fabric would be some cashmere knit. Now, Marcy Tilton does have on occasion some cashmere knit. Her prices that are listed on her website are by the half yard, and it's $55 per half yard. So that's, $110 a yard, which is very, very expensive for knit. I mean, I understand why it's that expensive, but that would be my dream fabric, I think, is having cashmere knit, because this is going to sound ridiculous too. I would love to do a loungewear set in cashmere knit, like a pair of like jogger style bottoms and a real loose fitting top. I mean, I just think that that sounds so luxurious and so wonderful. Is that ridiculous? Maybe. But this is all dreaming. So that would be my dream fabric, is a cashmere knit from, and I'll pop a picture if she's got any right now. She is having a sale right now, and her stuff is 20% off, I think. Or she was having a sale, which is, I mean, would be nice. I don't think I would buy it not on sale, but even on sale, it's still like, $85 a yard or whatever, which is just more than my budget can spend. So, yeah, I would love to get my hands on some of that though. And her colors that she has, a lot of them are my colors. And anyway, one day maybe. All right, the final question here is, where do you keep your stash? Okay, I keep my stash right behind you guys in, I'll show you, but in bins from the Container Store, in drawers, and I have folded all of my fabric Marie Kondo style-ish. So some of it sits on its end, some of it sits, the way the Marie Kondo or Kondomari way that you would fold, just kind of depending. Some of my thicker stuff needed, and I wanted to use the depth of some of the thicker, the deeper drawers. So some of my thicker wools and coatings and stuff are on their end. But I will show you that in just a second. I've shown it before on the channel, but I'll show you here in just a second so that you can actually see where I store all of my fabric. But yeah, pretty much all down here. I do have some stuff that's just like pulled out, waiting to become certain things, because I like to pull things out as I am deciding what they're going to be, and what I'm going to sew up next. But yeah, I think pretty much all is in these drawers, and it's amazing how much fabric, when you fold it that way, you can get into each drawer. Okay.
So these are the units where all of my fabric stash is stored. You'll see I have an empty bin up there. And this just has that knit in, oh, there's Gidget, that knit in it that I said I didn't know what to do with it. Obviously, we've got some fabric sitting out. That's just a mess of muslins and other stuff that needs to be seen to. But I will open up. So I've got everything organized by substrate. So like I've got shirting cottons up here. There's my linens here, lining fabric. These are bottom weights down here. I've got coatings and my wools. That's my solid like mid to lightweight wools. I've got the printed ones in these two. But I'll open one up so you can see how I have them all KonMari folded. And then I've got some of the thicker weights I have on their end, like that. So I've got these units here, and then I have my knits. I've got some more like cotton lawns and then rayons at the bottom. So there's my stash.
Sure. Okay, that's all I've got for today. I hope you guys take part in the hashtag. I think it'll be fun to follow along with everyone either on Instagram or again over on Sean's Facebook group. Or if you do have a YouTube channel, definitely post one as well. This could be a lot of fun to see other people's stashes. All right, I hope you guys have a wonderful Thursday, and I will be back tomorrow with my Closet Case Cielo pattern collection, or my collection. I've made 5, so I'm just talking about them and showing them all off on the channel tomorrow. Okay, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and I will see you then. Bye.